Hello everyone, it's great to be with you this afternoon. My name is Dr. Shanice O'Mara and I'm going to be your host for this afternoon. I'm originally a mechanical engineer, now broadcaster of science, technology and innovation, and a keen advocate of diversity and inclusion. So I'm delighted to be part of this event, which sets a high standard in widening the public perception of engineers and engineering. Now, before we begin, if you're watching on a mobile device, the platform is best viewed in landscape rather than portrait. And we have a packed lineup for you today. There are multiple ways to get involved, watch the pitches and vote for your favourites, ask questions to our speakers and view the interactive showcase on the right-hand tab. And you'll find all of that below the live event stream. And now, I'm delighted to welcome Hayatan Salome, CBE Chief Executive of the Royal Academy of Engineering and Chief Executive of the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering Foundation, to tell us a little bit more about the Africa Prize.
Thank you so much, Shani. It's great to have you back again as our MC for today. Distinguished guests, Africa Prize shortlist, finalists and judges, a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Hayatan Salome and I'm the Chief Executive of the Royal Academy of Engineering and the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering Foundation. And it's an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to you today on this momentous occasion to celebrate the ingenuity, the determination and excellence in engineering innovation that we have seen from the 16 entrepreneurs who have taken part in this year's Africa Prize. I'm also delighted to welcome our speakers and guests who you're going to be hearing from during today's event. We have a lot to look forward to. The Academy has long believed that engineering is a fundamental enabler of sustainable development. This year, we're marking a whole decade since the publication of the Engineers for Africa report, a report that identified the scale of engineering capacity needs in sub-Saharan Africa and prompted the creation of the Africa programs that we run at the Academy. The Africa Prize for Engineering Innovation is one of those three programs, and we designed to stimulate, to celebrate, and to reward innovation and entrepreneurship across sub-Saharan Africa. Since 2014, the program has awarded crucial commercialisation support directly to almost 120 ambitious African entrepreneurs and innovators who have developed scalable engineering solutions to local challenges, demonstrating the importance of engineering in improving quality of life and enabling economic development. Each year, we receive applications from hundreds of innovators across sub-Saharan Africa, and our esteemed judges have the very challenging but very important task of selecting just 16 to participate in the programme. I can tell you, it gets very tense in that judging room. Over an 8-month period, the 16-strong shortlist participate in tailored training sessions. They receive peer and product mentoring and hone their business plans so that they can progress their innovation to that next level and in the process to increase their scale of impact. So every year that process, that journey culminates in this showcase event, the Africa Prize Final. And today, our 4 finalists will pitch their businesses and just one will be selected to earn the coveted title of the Africa Prize 2022 winner and to take home the winning prize of £25,000. You heard me right. You will also have the opportunity to hear 1-minute pitches from 12 of the innovators on the shortlist and to vote for the pitch that most resonates with you, and whoever receives the most votes will receive £5,000. This year's shortlist are working on sustainable solutions to local challenges that range from access to healthcare, farming resilience, reducing waste, and energy efficiency. And I have absolutely no doubt that you are going to be very inspired by what you hear today. Of course, our collaboration and support for the entrepreneurs does not end after this final. We believe that one innovator can change a community and a network can transform a continent. Today, we have an alumni community of over 100 talented innovators, many of whom continue to engage with this programme to support new members of this shortlist. Alumni have been able to apply for business grants, mentoring and other opportunities to continue to support the growth and development of their innovations. We are incredibly proud of the Africa Prize entrepreneurs, and we've seen over the years how their innovations have contributed to addressing global development challenges. Nurturing thriving commercial companies has a significant role to play in sustainable development, by enabling entrepreneurs to create more jobs, to generate better economic prospects, and ultimately to contribute to the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Our alumni community continue to share their successes with the network. There are many examples, so I'm only going to have time to name a few, that they include the CEO of Reedy Capsules, Olubenga Olubanjo, who was an inaugural finalist for the Earthshot Prize, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's the Global Environmental Award championing planet repair through human ingenuity, presented by no less than His Royal Highness the Duke of Cambridge. Beth Kyogi from Magic Water was featured in Brave Blue World, a Netflix documentary exploring the technologies and the innovations that have the potential to solve the world's water crises. Co-founders Sesinam Dagadu and Zara Abe, who had their innovation SnooCode chosen as the national digital addressing system of Liberia, offering a mobile app that solves the problem of a lack of addresses by generating a unique alphanumerical code that can be used as an address for a particular location or home. So cool. The determination, the ambition, and the ability of our entrepreneurs to positively impact the lives of their communities, cities, and countries inspires us to continue our investment in them. And I would like to record my thanks on behalf of the Academy to those who have generously supported the Africa Prize over the last 8 years, especially the UK Government's Global Challenges Research Fund and the Shell Centenary Scholarship Fund. This support enables us to provide a platform for African innovation, to build businesses not only for profit, but also for purpose and for the well-being of the communities and the economies in which they operate. We're looking for new partners to come on board and support the Africa Prize in a range of ways, from funding all the way through to opening up new networks. So if you're interested to discuss that further, we'd love to hear from you. Please do get in touch with a member of the Academy team or via our website. Our alumni are creating incredible social impact at scale and are projected to improve the lives of more than 3 million people within the next 5 years. As of 2019, cumulatively, they had raised over $14 million and created 1,500 jobs, over 50% of which were for women, and a significant proportion of those being filled by young people or those with a disability. The prize aims to amplify those benefits on a local, national, and continent-wide level. And we've secured over 2,500 pieces of media coverage since our launch. I am sure you've seen some of those. If you haven't had a chance to do so already, I really do recommend that you visit the interactive showcase that is being created as part of this event and learn more about this year's brilliant cohort of entrepreneurs. Prepare to be impressed. So thank you again for joining us and enjoy the final. I have a feeling it's going to be a very special afternoon. Shini, it's back to you.
Thank you, Hayatan. Now let's hear from the head judge, Malcolm Brinded. Malcolm is FREng and a Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering, Chair of Engineering UK and past President of the Energy Institute. He served as a UK Prime Minister's Business Ambassador, a member of the China Council for International Cooperation on Environment and Department, and until 2017 served as Chair of the Shell Foundation. Malcolm is also a Fellow of the Institution of Civil Engineers and the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, and was awarded a CBE in 2002. He's going to tell us a little bit more about the Africa Prize judges, as well as what he believes makes a great winner for the Africa Prize. Over to you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Shini, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled you're all here for the Africa Prize 2022 final event. My name is Malcolm Brinded, and I chair the Africa Prize judging panel. And I've been honoured to be an Africa Prize judge since the beginning in 2014. And I've watched the prize go from strength to strength, with constant improvements to the training we offer and finding new ways to support our alumni group, which, as Hayatan said, is almost 120 now. Every year, the Africa Prize grows, and it's moved beyond those countries which have well-established support for engineering and entrepreneurs. And we now receive entries from an amazing 37 countries. And we were really pleased that this year's shortlist of 16 included entrepreneurs from Togo and the Republic of Congo for the first time. Through the Academy's female-only pipeline program, each year we see an increased number of female applicants, which is excellent to see. And this year, we're delighted to have 8 women among the 16 on the shortlist. So we've hit 50% for the first time in the history of the prize. Now, all 16 on the shortlist have received 8 months of training and mentoring, and after today, they become part of our alumni support network. With an ever-increasing number of really high-quality applications, judging gets ever more difficult every year. And each year we read amazingly varied applications about innovations that span the whole breadth of engineering, from advanced software platforms to highly practical machinery, each aiming to solve a problem in the innovators community. All these entries are technically reviewed, and then we as judges discuss them, deliberate, sometimes, well, actually quite often, passionately argue, and we finally choose the Africa Prize shortlist of 16 for the training and mentoring they've had. So what is it we look for? Ideally, we want applications that have that magic combination of commercial potential, scalability, and genuine engineering innovation that could really help sub-Saharan African development, plus a lead applicant with entrepreneurial flair and the self-awareness to assemble the right team around them. It's a high bar, which all 16 you'll hear from today have passed. As judges, one of the things we really love is seeing the progress the shortlisted entrepreneurs make during the program, from their first application to their final pitch today. So thanks to the trainers at Viridian, the comms team, April 6 and Proof, and the fantastic Academy network of volunteers who mentor our shortlist. We've seen real growth in all these entrepreneurs' business understanding, technology maturity, and confidence. We've also been seriously impressed by their determination to build sustainable, scalable businesses in fast-changing and complex markets. And on top of all that, the resilience they've shown to pivot and adapt their businesses over the past couple of years despite the pandemic. There can only be one winner of the Africa Prize 2022, but all 16 of these entrepreneurs are winners and should feel incredibly proud of what they've achieved. We look forward to watching them all succeed over the next years. With that, I'd like to introduce my fellow judges, who I'm delighted to be judging today with. First, Rebecca Enonchong from Cameroon and the US, the founder and CEO of AppsTech and IO Spaces, and a serial technology entrepreneur herself who is passionate about promoting technology in Africa. I can see that Rebecca I know she's going to join us very shortly. I think she's having some comms problems at the moment. Next, Dr. Ibalola Amal. Hi, Ibalola, from Nigeria and the UK, the principal consultant of Lonadec Global Services. Ibalola is passionate about empowering, mentoring, and coaching women and youth for positive transformation. Dr. John Lazar from South Africa in the UK, co-founder of Enza Capital and chair of What 3 Words and Raspberry Pi Foundation. John is a software engineer, investor, and business leader focused on technology and entrepreneurship to generate positive impact. Next, let's see a wave from Dr. Alessandra Buonfino from Italy and the UK. Hi, Alessandra, senior advisor at the Global Innovations Fund. Alessandra is a passionate advocate for social change and for business as a force for good. And finally, we're thrilled to welcome Barbara Iyai from the US as our guest judge today. Barbara is the founding managing partner of Unicorn Growth Capital, an early-stage VC firm that invests in fintech, DeFi, and Web3 companies to transform the financial infrastructure of the digital economy. Barbara has founded, invested in, scaled, and advised fintech and financial services globally. I can't think of anyone better to join us. Thank you, Barbara, for doing so today. I really look forward to choosing the Africa Prize winner with you all. We know it's going to be tough, so good luck to all our fantastic finalists. And I now hand back to your event host, Dr. Shini Samara. Over to you, Shini.
Thank you, Malcolm. In the first half of the event, you'll hear from the 4 Africa Prize 2022 finalists. Each of the 4 finalists you're about to meet will deliver a 5-minute pitch presentation. After their pitch is finished, we'll bring the finalists in for a Q&A session with the Africa Prize judges, led by the chair of judges, Malcolm Brinded. If you'd like to ask any questions, please add them to the Ask a Question tab. You can also click the thumbs up to upvote other audience members' questions. Once all 4 finalists have had their say, there'll be an audience vote to select your favourite finalists, and the results will be shared with the judges as they deliberate the winner. This year, we're delighted that there's gender parity on the shortlist. 50% of the shortlist are women for the first time ever. And just a reminder, don't forget you can share this event on your socials with the hashtag #AfricaPrize. And don't forget to tag @RAENG Global. Now let's hear from the Africa Prize 2022 finalists. First up for you today, we have Nora Magero from Vaxibox, based in Kenya. Vaxibox is a small mobile solar-powered fridge that safely stores and transports temperature-sensitive medicines, such as vaccines for use in field vaccinations and off-grid hospitals. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the challenges faced by healthcare practitioners and supply chains in distributing temperature-sensitive medicine was highlighted globally and remains a problem for many types of vaccines. Nora and her team developed the Vaxibox to help get essential vaccines to communities where cold chain infrastructure is lacking to ensure patients don't miss the opportunity to be fully immunised. They're now running 3 pilot projects with rural healthcare facilities to evaluate the Vaxibox's features and efficacy. Let's hear from Nora.
When I gave birth to my daughter in 2018, I moved to live in a rural community in Kenya. I faced a lot of challenges trying to get her vaccinated. Most of the times when we went to the clinic, we were turned away because the vaccines had spoiled or they're simply not available. Unfortunately, I'm not the only mother who faces these challenges. 50% of all the global vaccines produced go to waste, most of them in Africa, due to the cold chain gaps, logistical gaps, and energy access gaps. And the aftermath of this is that 30 million children still suffer within the continent from vaccine-preventable diseases each year, while 1.2 billion Africans are yet to be vaccinated against COVID-19 today. With 200,000 hospitals, delivery centers, and pharmacies still lacking access to adequate cold chain, Africa's healthcare has never been more at risk. My name is Nora Magero. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a team that is developing Vaxibox, an ideal solution to these challenges. Vaxibox is a portable IoT-enabled solar vaccine fridge. The fridge is so portable that it is mounted on a motorbike, a bicycle, a boat, or even be carried, so that heat-sensitive medical items such as vaccines, blood for transfusion, and insulin can quickly be deployed to remote and hard-to-reach communities while still being kept in just the right temperature at all times. Vaxibox is ensuring that each and every single person, no matter where they are, get access to equitable healthcare. The most unique thing about Vaxibox is that it's IoT and AI-enabled. It's embedded with the real-time data collection, monitoring, and stock management capability. Wherever the fridge goes, it collects various data sets, such as the temperature and the location of the fridge. It also tracks the vaccines from collection to delivery to promote traceability of these medical items. This data is collected and relayed to a phone application and a backend platform. Vaxibox also uses machine learning. With all this data that is collected, it learns, it predicts, and it forecasts the energy consumption of the fridge, the maintenance schedule for the fridge, as well as the future vaccine stock requirements for the facility. In 2021, we developed the first working prototype and piloted it out in 3 rural facilities in Kenya. We saw staggering and promising success. So in 2022, we advanced the design of Vaxibox. We've produced a few advanced pieces in Kenya today. And as of now, we're preparing to launch a large-scale pilot in partnership with the Makueni County government in Kenya with the new advanced version of Vaxibox. We've applied for 2 patents, one for the fridge and one for the IoT solution. We're also working on getting pre-qualified by WHO so that Vaxibox can be supplied to each and every single facility in need within the continent. But our biggest success is that this year we achieved first revenue. We sold 5 Vaxibox fridges at a revenue of £8,421. Our business model targets B2B customers to supply private and faith-based health facilities, pharmacies, and cold chain logistics, as well as B2G customers to supply Vaxibox units to public health facilities that are financed by development organizations like UNICEF. By doing this, we'll generate a revenue of £2,006 per fridge that is embedded with just temperature monitoring IoT capability. So if a user wants to unlock the premium services, such as the stock management and energy monitoring, they pay a monthly subscription of £34. I have the honor of leading a team of 2 other co-founders in the healthcare and engineering space. Together, we lead a product development team that comprises of mechanical, automation, and electronic engineering, a full stack developer, and a finance manager. My team is backed by a pool of experienced mentors and advisors from engineering, healthcare, product development, and business development space. We are seeking £450,000 in convertible notes so that within the next 12 months, we get to increase our production capacity and supply Vaxibox units to our growing waitlist. We will test out various commercialization models and also acquire WHO certification to allow us to scale Vaxibox in the whole continent. We are also seeking partners in the large-scale manufacturing sector and also partners in the global healthcare space. So we invite you to partner with us to ensure that Vaxibox will impact the life of each and every single child and adult to get fully vaccinated. We invite you to partner with us to ensure that we bridge the cold chain gap within the African space.
Thanks, Nora. That's a great presentation. It's a great product to see, and I can see how it's going to serve a real need. So we're going to Q&A, and for you, I'm going to ask the first one, which is, it's great to see that you've sold 5 Vaxiboxes. Your business plan that we saw showed quite a scale up to, I think, over 100 you were hoping to sell this year. How are you going to drive both the increase in manufacture and the increase in sales?
Thanks so much for that, Malcolm. So for the next short-term period, within 6 to 12 months, we'll maintain the same manufacturing, but just ensure that there's quality assurance with the fridges that we're producing. But then we're working on having our own local assembly workshop so that we outsource the key manufacturing components, but then for better quality and quality assurance, we assemble in our own workshop. But in the next 3 to 5 years, we're looking at signing a manufacturer's contract with a company called Matsumoto, who will be a one-stop shop for each and every single thing, and also give us the quantities that we need to basically up our production capacity, but also ensure that the quality that we require is actually being maintained.
Excellent. Well, good luck with that. And now a question from Ibilola.
Congratulations, Nora. Well done on your solution. Could you just tell us a bit more about the software platform and how you intend to leverage the technology to increase the impact?
Thanks so much for that. So our software platform is IoT and AI enabled in the fact that wherever the fridge goes, it's able to collect various data sets, like the temperature and also the stock that is being collected, the stock that is being issued and also being received. So you see, this monitoring solution helps us as the manufacturer to monitor the fridge and give a full after-sales support and ensure longevity and also reduce the maintenance costs. So our support is guaranteed. But then also for the end users, they get to collect various data sets that are used for planning healthcare programs and also just ensuring traceability for all for the healthcare products that are being released into the market and also enabling them to plan all the activities going forth. Now, the AI aspect is what is the exciting part, because the fridge is, after a while, when the fridge is at a facility, it's able to monitor a facility's operation to literally tell that today is a Wednesday, you have high numbers on Wednesday, so this fridge with the weather that is available is going to take you several hours before maybe it goes off, or maybe you reduce operation and opening and closing. And for us, it literally predicts after how long are we going to replace the battery, after how long are we going to replace a certain components, also just to ensure that there is longevity for the life of the fridge, and also we're able to give a full after-sale support.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Nora. And I'm going to actually go to John for the next question.
Thanks, Malcolm. Nora, congratulations. That's fantastic to see the progress. I was picking up on Malcolm's question to some extent. I'm interested, obviously, that you say you have two routes to market. One is B2B, and the other obviously is selling into the government. Can you talk a little bit more around your progress on interactions with government health departments? How are you getting on? I know those are generally quite long processes. How are you finding that, and what are the prospects for that?
Well, right now I'm quite positive that we're going to make breakthrough with the government. Specifically, we have negotiated an MOU with the Makueni County government, because healthcare in Kenya is quite devolved. So county government is a good starting point to work with the government. And what Makueni County did is they got the lawyers to draft the MOU to the legal part, and they passed it through the cabinet. So that's where the hurdle is, because there's so many in the cabinet and so many interests, but we just need the cabinet to approve, and the governor appends a signature, and we're in with the government. And the bit about Makueni is it always takes up various healthcare models that are easily replicated across Kenya. So if we get Makueni, this MOU signed, we're sure we're going to replicate the same model within Kenya, because whatever Makueni takes up always end up just replicated across Kenya. And the good thing also is then we also have an in with the WHO, because WHO is looking at us to see if the government is going to have a buy-in for them to also give us more support and also put a stamp of approval that this product actually can impact the lives and serve the service that is promising.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. I'm just looking around to see if any judge, I've got a couple of questions from the audience, which I'm going to pose, but any of the judges want to come in? If not, really one of the questions is, Nora, the whole reliability of and really the environmental benefits. I know that I think you're going for a sort of solar power support to the unit so that it is always available. Can you say a bit more about that and how it brings environmental advantages?
Well, Vaxibox is saving life, but also saving the environment, mostly just reducing the impacts of climate change by ensuring that there is clean energy being used within the healthcare space. But then also as a kit that is aimed to exceed its serving life compared to what's already in the market, we're reducing the e-waste that normally occurs when this kind of refrigerators are introduced in the Kenyan market and dumped because there is no service, there is no maintenance for them, since the support is just so fragmented and just has so many gaps. So we are contributing to clean energy being used in the healthcare space, and even it can be scaled beyond the healthcare to be used literally in any space that needs cold chain, but also reducing the electronic waste, and also by adopting the ISO standards for green manufacturing, we're just going to ensure that we reduce the carbon footprint for manufacturing this kind of product, and also determining that this reduced carbon footprint manufacturing is being implemented also in the African space, which not so many people are so conscious currently.
Thank you, Nora. It's an inspiring product, and it's great that you're ramping up the sales and manufacture. Well done. And now I'm going to hand back to you, Shini, to introduce the next finalist. Thank you, Nora.
Well done, Nora.
So
and remember, if you have any questions for the finalists, pop them into the Ask a Question tab, and we'll do our best to have the judges ask your questions. And you can also click the thumbs up to upvote other audience members' questions. Now I'd like to introduce the second Africa Prize 2022 finalist, Gail Martina Egbidi, a software engineer from Togo, and her innovation, Salome. Salome is a Visa-backed card and account that doesn't require its users to be customers of a specific bank, significantly reducing financial costs to give unbanked individuals more access to the digital economy. In Togo, fewer than 10% of the population have a bank card. Gail and her team created the financial product in order to improve financial inclusivity. Salome customers will be able to buy the card even if they don't have a bank account and top it up with money, whether that's cash, mobile money, or through bank transfers, and make purchases both in-store and online because the card is supported by Visa and it gives customers access to the global economy with purchases enabled anywhere that ordinary Visa cards can be used. Over to you, Gail.
Hello, my name is Gail Martinez-Bidi, co-founder and CEO of Salome. We identified the following problems. Do you know that in Togo, more than 60% have access to mobile money and microfinance services, but just 20% have access to banking services? Less than 10% have a bank card. Don't forget this problem of giving change when paying in cash. Finally, we only have 23% of internet penetration. However, those problems also represent many opportunities to tackle. There is more than 90% who don't have a bank card, but there is many transactions through mobile money in the country. Most online merchants accept card payments, but not mobile money. Today, you necessarily have to go to the bank for a simple financial services, which costs a lot. Finally, we have more than 90% of smartphone penetration. How to tackle those? Salome brings an amazing solution of physical or virtual prepaid card with a mobile application. Clients can get the card online or physical in just 2 minutes. The card can be topped up with mobile money, cash deposit, or bank accounts. In addition to our mobile application, we developed an USSD technology to allow customers to top up and manage your card through USSD without having internet. Customers can also receive money from abroad, have salary paid directly to the card, send money to other Salome cards for free. We really want to be close to our target customer, so our point of sale strategy focuses on involvement of small shops. We plan to use AI to analyze customer behavior, predict their buying habits, and offer them personalized services such as knowing their favorite merchants and showing them automatically promotion coming from them. Finally, we put financial education in the heart of our solution to educate our customers so that they can manage their finances freely and regain control over their money. How are we making money? First, card sale and commission on transactions. For card sale, we have two ways. We have B2C sale and B2B sale. Note that we buy the card at £4. So we sell the card to the final client at £6. And today we launched 2 months ago and we already have 1,000 cards sold. For B2B sale, it's an organization who wants to digitalize his mission expense or salary payments by using our card instead of check. So we already signed with one government institution for 5,000 cards. For commission on transaction, it depends on the type of the transaction. So in general, today we are processing £35,000 GMV per month, and we win around £1,400 as revenue. We also build Salome community. This community helps us to boost our GMV because the member of this community have access to promotions, cashback from our merchant partners. Once we did this, we see that in our environment, in our ecosystem, there is a lot of fintechs who are trying to do the same, but they are struggling to have the right partners. We are lucky we have Visa, we have GTP, and we also have 2 bank partners in Togo. So we decided to build the B2B Financial Inclusion Support Program. In this program, we support all the entities who want to issue their own prepaid solution. So in the program, there is a free setup fee. We sell the card to the entity at £5 and we share the revenue with them. There is 40% for the fintech, 30% for Salome, and 30% for the bank partner. We already signed with one institution in this program who will get his solution by the end of the next month. And we are in progress to sign with 2 institutions. I'm also glad to announce you that Salome is officially recognized as program manager by Visa for FinTech. all this amazing work can't be done without this amazing team that I want to thank again. Today, we are asking for £194,000 to order more cards, invest in marketing and communication, to pay developer and invest to upgrade our mobile application, to recruit sales representatives, financial engineers, IT accountants. We need also capacity building in PCI DSS certification, also partnership building for geographic expansion. I will be happy to talk further about Salome, so feel free to reach out. Thank you. Salome for a cashless world.
Thank you, Gail. That's an excellent pitch. Well done, and an exciting product and growth. This time, I'm going to pass to Barbara for the first question.
Hi, Gail. How are you? Thank you for this wonderful presentation. So I've focused a lot on fintech companies, so really glad to see that you're doing this. A couple of questions on the technology. Are you leveraging APIs from banks, telcos? Like how much sort of in the ecosystem are you leveraging with respect to APIs to build sort of an interoperable platform so that these cards can be used across different technologies? Because as you can imagine, the payment sector is quite fragmented. And then a question related to that is really with respect to your B2B strategy, how are you going to work with, how are you going to get fintechs and other, others outside your ecosystem to use this technology from a B2B perspective?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Barbara, for the question. For APIs, that's true. We are working with a lot of APIs. We're working with telco APIs to allow our client to top up their account with their mobile money. We're also working to bank APIs so that we can process those transactions that our clients are making through their mobile money. So we have our own APIs, and we are communicating also with telco ones and also the bank processor APIs to build our solution. And for the second question, can you please repeat?
Yeah, so as you do this B2B strategy, right, you're going to be opening up your API to multiple people. How are you planning on doing that?
Okay, well, first of all, for those B2B financial support is once we already launch our FED solution, we see that there we have Visa as partner, we have the processor as partner, and we have two bank sponsors. And we see that there is a lot of fintechs and microfinances now who is trying to issue their own prepaid cards. So we also have already our own applications and APIs. We said that we will share those with them so that they can issue quickly their solution within 3 months. And instead of having them as competitors, we'll have them as we will build together solutions so that Salome will process a lot of transactions. And then when Visa helps us, it also helps all those microfinances and fintechs that we manage. For sharing them our APIs, we build them in a way that it is really microservice oriented, so that we can share them our APIs. They can use our mobile application also to do their card management. Because at the end of the day, they want a prepaid card with mobile application that can be managed, that their client can use to manage those cards.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. That's a great answer. I'm going to ask Alessandra now for the next question.
Hi, Gail. Great pitch. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Just to pick up on some of the things you said, you talked about partnership building for market expansion. And I understand that you really understand Togo and you know where you're going with this, and you can build a community around that particular market. And I also know that you mentioned that market expansion might be in Benin and Burkina Faso and so on. But how are you planning that? Is that through franchises? Would you open your own offices? How will you manage to keep the innovation together? Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra, for the question. For the expansion, first we want to have a good coverage in Togo, and those markets as Benin or Burkina Faso or Guinea-Conakry are facing the same problem like Togo. So the solution also suits for clients on those countries. To go there, we technically we already have partnership that we need, and for business we are open. So sometimes, for example, in Benin, we will open an office there, and in other countries, we can be represented with other companies also there. We are open, we are not, we don't have an idea fixed on that, but we already have, as Visa also, in our contract with Visa, they will also help us in those expansions. So in the right time, we will see together how we can, implement those solutions on those countries who are facing the same problem as we are facing in Togo.
Great. Thank you, Gail. I just want to check, any judges wish to come? Yeah, John, over to you.
Gail, congratulations. It's fantastic to see the progress. I had a question around growth. It's great to see that you're generating revenue, and I think you said it's £1,400 or a couple of £1,000. From the material I've seen, you're predicting revenue by the end of 2022 of more than £400,000, and then I think up to £1 million, doubling that into 2023. What's your growth plan? And in particular, how will you get to those revenue numbers? What marketing do you need? How are you going to get the scale?
Thank you, John, for the question. Well, for our scaling, right now, when we launch, we just have our close customer. And by the end of the year, we plan to have around 20,000 customers, because we have the mass market and we also have companies who use our cloud to digitalize their process of giving mission experience. On that program, we also already signed with a government institution here in Togo called Office Togolese des Recettes, who buy, for example, 5,000 cards for his agents, so that his agent can use those cards. And on those cards, they will put a lot of money. It will also increase our revenue. And we also have other companies like that. We are in signing progress for those companies also to simplify their process of giving mission expense, so that we will increase our revenue. And also for our with our revenue sharing in the B2B financial inclusion support, we will also increase revenue, because there is right now we have in instant, like we are discussing with the 5 fintech, and there is also a lot of microfinance that we will involve on those programs, and we have 30% on all their commission on their transaction, which will increase also our revenues. One thing also to add is we are allowing people to have easy access to means of payment, and we are also are building solution to allow all most of merchants to accept those means of payment. So we have also Simple Pay, which is a facilitator of an acquiring solution, which allow merchants to accept cards if it is online or if it is in physical in store, so that we will have a lot of usage of our cards, and then transactions will be increased.
Thank you, Gail. That's great. Well answered, and exciting plans and growth so far. Back to you, Shini, to introduce the next finalist.
Well done, Gail. Now, another reminder that if you have any questions for the finalists, please add them to the Ask a Question tab. You can also click the thumbs up to upvote other audience members' questions. Next up, we have Dr. Jack Fletcher from Hyena Powerpod in South Africa. Hyena's Powerpod is a diesel generator replacement technology that produces on-site, on-demand and reliable electricity. Jack and his team developed the Powerpod technology as a way to deploy fuel cell technology into Africa, where hydrogen distribution is all but non-existent. Liquid petroleum gas, or LPG, is an ideal source of energy because its use in cooking and heating are already widespread. By using the existing LPG infrastructure, Hyena makes localized power generation in remote locations a reality. The Powerpod generates the necessary hydrogen from LPG and water and then converts it into electricity. Jack and his team have demonstrated the technology and developed several prototypes at a small scale. Now they're working on a pre-commercial 5 kilowatt Powerpod for telecom towers. But enough from me. Let's hear from Jack.
Hi, my name is Jack Fletcher, and I'm a co-founder and director of Hydrogen Energy Applications, or in short, Hyena. Here at Hyena, we're developing the Powerpod. The Powerpod is a fuel cell-based diesel generator replacement. It is silent, easy to service, operates independent of weather condition, and uses existing fuel infrastructure. As you know, internal combustion engines, like the diesel generator, are polluting, unreliable, and inefficient. For many markets, hydrogen fuel cells offer a cheaper, more reliable, and eco-friendly alternative. An example where the Powerpod can have a large impact is in the telecom tower market. In sub-Saharan Africa alone, there are over 300,000 off-grid and for-grid towers, and this number is growing rapidly, with more than 100 new towers commissioned every day. So then, why are we not seeing more fuel cells in the field? Simply, the answer is there is just no hydrogen distribution or storage infrastructure. Where do you buy your hydrogen? Hyena makes fuel cells possible. How do we do this? We put a Hyena in a box, give it LPG and water, and it generates electricity. LPG, also known as propane or petroleum gas, is the same gas you use at home for cooking and heating. The use of this existing LPG infrastructure makes Hyena's Powerpod scalable now. This is a huge unfair advantage over our competitors who use non-distributed fuels such as methanol or ammonia. Even though LPG contains carbon, LPG can also be made green from captured CO2 and renewable hydrogen to form green LPG, or as we call it, green gas. This green gas can then be blended directly into the existing LPG infrastructure, making the Powerpod eventually carbon neutral. To date, Hyena has raised over $2 million and we have scaled up 500 times from proof of concept to the full engineering designs. We have received interest to pilot our system from telecom tower cos and have now started with the build of the full-scale Powerpod, with a planned completion in the first quarter of 2023. Hyena's business model is based on revenue from 3 streams. An example for the telecom market is given in the slide. Initially, revenue will be generated from sales of the Powerpod. Hyena aims to take a 15% share of the sub-Saharan serviceable available telecom market, which translates to 2,250 units annually. As the number of units in the field increased, recurring revenue from servicing and cartridge replacement soon overtakes the sales revenue and becomes a major source of income. Finally, Hyena aims to generate revenue on the retail margin of LPG. We are a strong and growing team with diverse experience in hydrogen technologies, from academic research and IP to industry and product engineering. In addition to the 4 co-founders, Hema Vela and Jens Müller have recently joined the team. Both Hema and Jens are successful entrepreneurs with background in engineering and bring a wealth of knowledge to Hyena. Looking at the next 2 to 3 years, Hyena plans to build, demonstrate, and pilot the complete full-scale Powerpod. This is aimed at generating customer interest, first revenues, and sales. At the moment, we are looking for partners in the African LPG space, and we would also like to engage with potential customers to identify and plan for demonstrations and field trials. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
And thank you, Jack. The whole potential for the Hyena Powerpod, it does seem very exciting. I'm going to go straight to Alessandra for the first question.
Thanks, Malcolm. Jack, that was incredible. Really, really interested in what you're doing. And I had a question mainly about the tower market. I mean, you obviously, you explained incredibly well in your pitch why you're targeting them. And I just wanted to ask you for an update whether the tower market in Africa, so are they ready for this? How are they responding? You said that there is interest already. And I just wanted to understand your experience so far. your timing in kind of getting to the 15% that you mentioned in your pitch? And then after that, what are the potential applications beyond telecoms?
Thank you for your question. Yes, so I think, I guess in businesses like this, timing is everything. And I think we are at the right time for various reasons. I think because the tower market is growing so rapidly and there's such a lot of competition in the market, especially the off-grid towers need to be reliable. If these towers aren't running, they're losing customers. So they need reliable technology to satisfy the customer need, and fuel cells can provide this. They're much more reliable than diesel generators. Another reason why the timing at the moment is very good is that the world is moving towards net zero, so reducing carbon emissions. And this technology has the potential to be net zero, although at present we produce about 15% less CO2 than a diesel generator, with the potential to make it much less. So, speaking to the tower companies so far, they're very open to doing demonstrations. Basically, the reply that we get when we contact them is that, sure, bring the Powerpod to the site. So I think that's very important for us to build this full-scale unit, so we can actually do that. We can actually take it to sites, put it on the telecom towers and demonstrate it to our customers. So I think there's a huge drive and a need for this technology. We are in talks with one large telco. They've got many towers all over Africa, and so I think there are some other questions about levelized cost of electricity over the lifetime of the system and those type of things, which we're looking at with them now. So yeah, and then the other answer to sort of what other applications? Yes, Malcolm.
Yeah, I was going to give you your answer briefly, Jack. Then I'm going to bring in John. Keep going.
Sure. Yeah, so as the cost comes down, other markets open up. Some interesting ones are power to remote eco lodges. Obviously, you don't want the noise of a diesel generator. This can do that. But even later, for domestic use, replacing diesel generators in South Africa, we have a huge problem with load shedding. So you could, once the cost comes down, you could even do that. It's basically a diesel generator replacement.
Thank you, Jack. John?
Well, fantastic innovation, Jack. Thank you. I'd like to go slightly technical, actually. And what I was going to ask you to do, two related questions. My question is, for a lay audience, how would you describe the absolutely core technical innovation here that differentiates you? Is it the way you process the LPG, or is it something about the design of the cartridge? And my related question on that is, are you planning on continuing to use platinum within the core elements, or are you going to move to some other catalyzer given the cost and the scarcity of platinum and iridium?
Thank you for your question. Yes, so I think our advantage, or let's say our technological difference, is two things. Like you mentioned, it's that we use LPG as what we call the hydrogen carrier. So obviously there's no hydrogen distribution infrastructure, there are no pipelines carrying hydrogen around Africa, or trucks even. So we use an existing fuel which contains hydrogen, and that's how we transport hydrogen around. So I think our technology is very good at converting that, or removing the hydrogen from LPG. That's where we have an advantage, and also in the design of the Powerpod. So we've designed the Powerpod itself for very easy servicing and maintenance. These cartridges that are in the system, they contain the catalyst, the part that removes the hydrogen. These cartridges can be replaced in the field, and you don't need to remove the whole system from the field and send it off to a special factory to do that. So you can kind of use the existing people in the field that are already servicing diesel generators to do this job.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack. I think that's a good answer. I want to ask an audience question, which is, we understand that the philosophy of replacing diesel generators because of their cost, unreliability, fuel, etc. But compared with good solar with proper battery backup to ensure 24-hour reliable power, why would people go for your solution, the Hyena, rather than the solar plus battery solution?
Yeah, thank you for your question. That's very valid. I think we can agree that if you have solar and solar is available and you're generating electricity directly from solar, you should use it like that. Our solution is one that can be used together with solar or in situations where you need reliable 24/7 power. So if you can imagine a remote lodge, maybe one of these luxury lodges in the wilderness area. Lots of them have solar panels, but if you've got clients that are paying thousands of dollars a night to stay at the lodge, and it's been raining for 2 weeks, you can't expect them to not have any power. And a lot of those lodges have backup diesel generators. So what we would do is our technology is complementary to situations where you have solar panels, and we would just replace the diesel generator. But in situations where you need very reliable power 24/7 without any upset, like clinics, rural clinics, and telco towers, where you're not able to have solar panels for various reasons, then you would use the Powerpod instead of a diesel generator.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack. Very clear, great answers, and very exciting that you've managed that fundraise this year. Back to you now, Shini. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Jack, and well done. Now, lastly for this afternoon, we have Virtue Oboro from Nigeria with her innovation Crib Aglow. Crib Aglow is a foldable phototherapy crib that treats and monitors jaundiced newborns. Jaundice occurs when bilirubin, a natural substance made when red blood cells disintegrate, is abnormally high. Devices used to treat jaundiced newborns are not designed for under-resourced facilities. They're typically prohibitively expensive and highly sensitive to electricity fluctuations or outages. Virtue and her team worked to fill this gap in healthcare technology, creating a phototherapy crib that can run on either grid or solar power. It uses LED lights and actively monitors the level of bilirubin in the baby's body. It's completely mobile and a tenth of the cost of the average phototherapy device used in developed countries. The crib is already in use in 70 hospitals in Nigeria and with more than 50,000 newborns treated to date. Remember, you can ask questions during the upcoming pitch and Q&A session. Take it away, Virtue.
My name is Virtue Oboro, and I'm the founder of Tiny Hearts Technology. In 2015, I noticed my son was sleeping for longer hours. He looked pale yellow, but as a first-time mom, I thought he was just light-skinned. He was diagnosed with severe neonatal jaundice. Neonatal jaundice is the yellowness of the eyes and skin caused by a substance called bilirubin in the baby's blood. This condition affects over 50% term babies and 80% preterm babies globally. And if not treated early, can cause blindness, deafness, cerebral palsy, or even death. Yearly, 6 million babies globally do not have access to effective phototherapy treatments because they lack access to phototherapy devices. Out of 7 million babies born in Nigeria yearly, 4.5 million of them are diagnosed with neonatal jaundice. 1 in 22 of these babies die because of this condition when left untreated. We have designed the Crib Aglow phototherapy unit for the treatment of neonatal jaundice. This device breaks the barrier of cost, access, electricity, and early detection in phototherapy. It is lightweight, collapsible, and easy to move around, solar powered, so it works everywhere there's a jaundiced baby in need. It has diagnostic functions. We go further to provide continuous medical education on neonatal jaundice in rural areas. The underlying magic of the Crib Aglow units is uninterrupted power supply that makes recovery rates faster by 40%. Healthcare providers have also recorded that the incidence of emergency exchange blood transfusions have reduced by over 70%. This is because properties of our LEDs have a higher penetrating power on the baby than other units. The Crib Aglow generally does not leave side effects on babies such as skin burn, high temperature, and rashes. It requires less maintenance and meets the required standard of phototherapy with a wavelength of 495 nanometer. The Crib Aglow is easier to set up and use by non-professionals, so it is easily and quickly adapted in rural communities compared to others. We operate a business-to-business and business-to-customer model by selling Crib Aglow units to medical equipment distributors, hospitals, and renting to hospitals and homes on demand. Through this model, we have saved over 500,000 babies through sales to 400 hospitals, 350 homes, and medical equipment distributors in Nigeria and Ghana. We are currently in conversation with partnering organizations to roll out Crib Aglow units to 120 units in Nigeria. Our team is made up of professionals from the healthcare, renewable energy, community development, technology, and engineering sector with over 25 years experience. We have a supportive board of advisors who are experts in business management, innovation, healthcare, and leadership. Our short and mid-term plan is to expand to 7 other African countries by identifying and partnering with medical equipment distributors, working with supervising bodies in those countries to endorse the use of our devices, organizing health campaigns to create brand awareness. We will also leverage on networking opportunities that the Africa Prize platform has and will present to us. We aim to raise £250,000 to enable us increase manufacturing capacity so that we can meet the high need and demand for phototherapy devices. We will do this by purchasing additional production machines, recruit and train additional and current staff, expand our production sites, and improve on commercial access online. We also need technical support from the Royal Academy of Engineering, introduction to research teams in neonatal care, partnership with medical device distributors and pediatric health in our proposed countries of expansion. We are equalizing health by designing and deploying medical devices to reduce infant death and disabilities in Africa. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Virtue, for a great pitch, and also, you know, the fact that the product has such an important benefit. That's so clear. I'd like to go straight to Barbara for the first question here.
Thanks, Malcolm. Hi, Virtue. Wonderful product and really happy for what you're doing. Just a question on sustainability of what you're doing. Can you just run through the cost of production, where your production sites are, how much money each of these units cost, just to give a sense of margin and just a sense of whether or not this will require a lot of volumes for you to really make money from it and keep it sustainable. And also, as you're talking about production, what are your safety measures as well?
Okay, thank you so much, Barbara. That's quite a lot to share. First, the Crib Aglow phototherapy units. The cost production of the Crib Aglow units actually is $300. It used to be $300 for one. We had very close, very small, very little profit margin. But in 2020, we were able to expand our profit margin to $200 for production of 1 unit, aside marketing and logistics. And that was a huge milestone for us because we're able to make more profits on each of these units. We also have produced these phototherapy units for 4 years. We spent the first 2 years in improving and developing the designs and changing designs until we had a successful prototype. In the process of that, we were able to learn a lot about sustaining this product by identifying locally sourced materials that we do not have to import into Nigeria, so that it will reduce the cost of production. Because of that, we are able to have control over our production times, which makes us more sustainable. We don't have to burn so much energy all the time. So we have production times, we go on production breaks. We also have these materials flow in and out of our facilities when we order for them. The fact that we are also close to these materials helps us to spend less on logistics, importing them into Nigeria, as well as the cost of customs duties and the time of delivery to the customers when they require it. Can you give me more? Can you tell me more about what you asked so I can give more response?
So what is the margin? You said $200 for the cost. What's the margin?
The profit margin now is about 80%. Sorry, no, it's about $80 each.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
And Barbara, does that answer all your questions there?
The safety piece, I just wanted to clarify. How do you make sure, because this is babies, how do you make sure that the units are safe?
Thank you. My apologies for skipping that. From the start, we have worked with professionals, pediatricians, biomedical engineers, and we have also ensured that the Crib Glow unit goes through a quality control process where we have registered with the NAFDAC, which is the National Agency for Food and Drugs Agency in Nigeria, to ensure that we are working in line with quality control. Another thing we do is we ensure that hospitals test, try, and even labs, they try out these phototherapy units before. That's what we did initially, and we keep doing that when we have a new design of the Crib Glow phototherapy unit. However, continuously we get feedback from professionals, which are pediatric nurses and doctors, those health professionals who are focused on taking care of the babies in the device. So they give us constant feedbacks. Whenever we have a feedback that requires us making a change for safety reasons, we make a change, and then we update our safety measures with the NAFDAC agency.
That's great. Thank you. And I'm going to pass now to Ibilola. Yeah, I think you're in Nigeria at the moment, Ibilola. So a question from you.
Yes, thank you so much, Malcolm, and well done. This is such a fantastic solution for babies. What are your key partnerships and collaborations that have strengthened your sales and impact? And what is outstanding? What sort of partnership are you looking for right now that will make a huge difference and accelerate the growth of your market and increase the impact?
Thank you very much. We are currently in partnership with hospitals in Nigeria, government hospitals. These hospitals ensure that when they use the phototherapy unit, they're able to give us feedbacks and also recommend us to the Nigerian Medical Association. We have also a new partnership with the Association for Neonatologists in Nigeria, starting from the 20th of June. What's strategic about this partnership is that these are the people who take the decisions in terms of medical device procurement. These people will recommend our devices to organizations. They'll recommend us to people and bodies who would purchase more of these devices. We are also in collaboration with medical device distributors, for example, LifeBank, and a couple of other organizations that purchase in bulk these units and deploy to other organizations. These organizations are also strategically positioned in places where, even when they are positioned as their organizations, they still talk about the Kriba Globe Phototherapy Unit as their achievements. So that's where we are, and where we are looking at is while we came tops as the Africa Prize finalists, we were able to secure a new partnership with the Nigerian Army, and we'll be deploying our phototherapy units to all the Nigerian Army hospitals in Nigeria, which is quite big. It covers the military, it covers the Navy, the police force, and lots of all these other hospitals across Nigeria. These are one of the partnerships we've looked forward to, and we are expecting to seal up other partnership deals with research organizations. After this, we hope that we'll be able to leverage on networking with research organizations and in and out of Nigeria, as well as hospital equipment distributors in Africa generally. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Virtue. I think just a one-liner. What is your distinctive competitive edge against your competitors?
Accessibility, ease of use, and sustainability in terms of treating neonatal jaundice. Thank you. That was a question from the audience, by the way. That's great. Thank you, Virtue, and thank you to all the finalists. Actually, all the pitches were excellent, and it is really difficult being cross-examined on the hoof like this, especially virtually. So I think everybody did really, really well. And now you've given us the problem. As 6 judges, we have the super difficult task of choosing who is the one winner from 4 really terrific entrepreneurs. And we always like to get some help from the audience in making our decisions. So while we go off to deliberate, I'll hand over to Shini, who, among other things, will be asking for your audience votes on the 4 finalists we've just heard. But thank you to all of them, and over to you, Shini.
Thank you, Malcolm, and thank you, Virtue. What an impressive group of entrepreneurs, I must say. I'm inspired by the amazing innovations that the 4 Africa Prize 2022 finalists have showcased. So now that you've heard from all 4 finalists, it's your turn to get involved. The vote is now open, so you can choose which one of our finalists has impressed you the most. So this is how to vote. In the polls and voting tab below, select one of the 4 finalist names for who you think deserves to win this year's Africa Prize. The winner will be announced at the end of the event, and your help can make the difference as the judges begin their deliberations. And now we have the one to watch pitches where only you, the audience, will decide on the winner. Last year, we introduced a new award called the One to Watch, designed exclusively for the 12 shortlists for an award of £5,000. And this is how it works. Each of the shortlists will have the opportunity to present a 1-minute pitch, and we want you, the audience, to vote for the pitch that resonates the most in terms of potential for impact in Africa. So here are the pitches.
Hello, my name is Julius Mauru from Elite Uganda Limited. At Elite, we are solving the problem of difficult intravenous cannulation in children. 50 to 80% of children who come to the hospital will need a needle inserted for intravenous medication. However, the procedure is difficult because their veins are small and they collapse during illness, exposing them to multiple painful pricks, but as well downward mobility and death in case of failure. We have developed the Elite Vein Locator, which is a portable, low-cost and locally made blood vessel illuminator that increases first needle success rate while costing a fraction of other devices. It is designed to suit conditions in sub-Saharan Africa, and once commercialized, it will alleviate the clinician's burden of locating veins, but as well improve patients' outcome and satisfaction by increasing first needle success rate. Thank you.
One of the top challenges of manufacture is packaging scarcity. Hello everyone, my name is Afomi Andola from Ethiopia. I'm CEO and co-founder of Agelgil Packaging. I have a BSc degree in electrical engineering and management. Did you know 4 billion trees are just cut to produce paper packaging? In Ethiopia, farmers dump and burn million thousands of tons straw just to remove from their farm for the next production. In the meantime, the manufacturing sector is growing with 7% every year, despite of the packaging scarcity. By considering those problems and opportunity, we come up with a solution, which is producing eco-friendly hard papers and cardboard packagings from agricultural byproducts, including water hyacinth. With our innovative environmental suitable production process, our products are customizable, biodegradable with affordable price. We also able to receive pre-orders from customers, and we work with 2,000 plus farmers as a supplier. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lauren Shafwansa, co-founder of Aquaponics Hub. Food insecurity on the African continent is quite alarming, with Ghana having a food insecure population of 3.6 million. To help solve this problem led to the creation of Aquaponics Hub. Aquaponics Hub consists of a kit complete with sensors and a mobile app. The kit allows individuals to grow both fish and vegetables using less resources such as land, water, and nutrients. Users can control and monitor factors that affect fish and plant growth with help of sensors and have access to market through the marketplace on the app to ensure food is available where it's needed. Aquaponics Hub can help solve food insecurity on the continent while creating jobs also. Please join us to make this a reality. Thank you.
Is there anything more important in your lives than your families? Hello, everyone. My name is Juveline Goum. I am the CEO and co-founder of Blickly. We provide sustainable cooking solutions for African kitchens made entirely from recycled metal scrap. 4 billion women wake up every morning to prepare food for hungry people. The kitchens that they often use are closed with bellowing smoke pollution, causing heart and lung diseases on the cooks and killing up to 4 million people every year, according to World Health Organization. Blickly is the solution. We provide sustainable cooking stoves and health-friendly cooking fuel made entirely from recycled metal scraps and recycled biomass waste, respectively. Thanks to our solution, we have reduced indoor air pollution by up to 95% and faster cooking time. Our customers include low-income households, schools, cafeterias, and other commercial cooking establishments. Cooking for hungry people is important, but it should not be to the detriment of people's health and the environment. Thank you very much.
Good day, I'm Koye from Nigeria. I'm an energy entrepreneur and I co-developed CodeBox Store. CodeBox Store is a network of solar-powered cold storage facilities that are deployed in underserved farming communities to boost the productivity of smallholder farmers. It is a known fact that smallholder farmers lose about 55% of their harvested produce to food waste along the supply chain, which is largely caused by lack of sustainable cold chains. This is a problem CodeBox is already fixing. CodeBox Store also doubles as a first mile aggregation center that connects smallholder farmers to markets. We have a working commercial viable product, and we're scaling up our operations with the partnership of key stakeholders in the industry, such as Rocky Mountain Institute, USADF, Nigeria's REA, OLON, and many others. And we're open to other partnerships that share the same vision of ensuring food security and safety on the African continent. Thank you.
Hi, allow me to introduce you to Sarah. Sarah lives in Kibera slums. Last year, Sarah lost 240 days of school because she could not afford a menstrual product. Sarah's school has over 2,000 girls, and the school has to bury over 300 kilos of menstrual waste per month within the compound, just because they have no other way of disposing the same. No wonder the school has to deal with so many cases of sick girls. My name is Catherine Wanjoya, co-founder and CEO of Genesis Care. We are serial entrepreneurs who combine technology use and experience to provide on-demand, low-cost sanitary pads using our automated sanitary pad dispensers. Our eco-friendly on-site incinerators burn the waste. We are keeping the environment safe for vulnerable communities, keeping girls in school, and women working throughout the month. Thank you.
My name is Miriam Eluma, and I'm the founder of Hobby. So close to 50% of Nigerians live on less than $1 per day. And as a result of these poor savings, people are struggling to afford what others no longer use but end up disposing. Hobby is addressing this growing inequality using a circular economy approach where people are incentivized to share their pre-owned items with others who then obtain these items using our virtual tokens called buzzes. So our tokens empower low-income earners and the unemployed to save money obtaining items they need, while also encouraging them to reuse, which benefits the environment. Currently, over 2,000 items have been free cycled on our platform that have impacted 1,700 people, majority being women. And in 2023, our goal is to have 1 million items listed that have the potential of benefiting at least 200,000 people. With Hobby, more people will be able to save while also taking care of the environment, thereby improving their standard of living. Thank you.
Is Jivel Kubatuka, co-founder of Green Tech Africa. Over 300,000 community members was infected in my mother's village in Congo-Brazzaville by water hyacinth, the most invasive aquatic plant in the world. The best way to address this problem was to use this talent to tackle another challenge, industrial pollution. 2 years ago, we decided to use capacity of absorbing pollutant of freshwater hyacinth to produce 100% of organic fiber, which is able now to absorb over 70 times its height in oil-based pollute. That you customize, it depends on need. We are selling in different types of companies, construction companies, oil storage and exploitation companies in Congo, Gabon, French, and UK. We developed community collection system with 85% of women. We are working with 10 villages and mobilizing over 300,000 community members. Our revenue has grown from $30,000 to over $300,000. For the future of our planet, join us to solve 2 environmental problems. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Philip Cheso, co-founder and lead engineer at Peak Energy. It is estimated that only 28% of Ugandans have access to electricity, leaving over 5.7 million households still not connected to the grid. According to the World Bank, if every household had access to energy by 2030, 48% of generated energy will come from mini-grids and 23% from off-grid solar. However, there is still limited technologies to make solar more reliable, sustainable, and economical. Peak Energy is helping solar companies and mini-grid developers to reach unconnected communities by allowing them to remotely monitor solar deployments for predictive maintenance, prevent system failure, and reduce operational costs. We generate revenue from hardware sales as well as monthly subscriptions from renting our software. So far, we've connected 3,800 households, impacting 16,200 people. We're a team of young changemakers trying to make the world a better place. We seek to raise $250,000 for R&D and business development. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Oluwatobi. I'm the founder of Solar Poacher. One of the challenges faced as an undergrad was always this inconsistent power supply and internet connectivity. Sometimes we could go for months without electricity, which mostly affects our research work. At Solar Poacher, we have created highly durable solar power workstation, which is designed to charge electronic devices and then gives you access to internet. We built an online booking management system that gives users a spot at the table. At Solar Poacher, we are open to collaborate with tertiary institutions and government parastatals. Thanks a lot.
My name is Fabrice Chouche. I am the co-founder of Medicine Tech, a health tech startup. Do you know that Sub-Saharan Africa has 4 times lower health workers compared to world average? In CMAC zone, 40% of users are not satisfied with the quality of services in our hospital, which raises the question of how to improve user satisfaction and help hospital managers to better manage the limited human resources available. To address this, we have developed TellMe, a connected or unconnected nurse call system that will allow patients to quickly communicate their needs to caregivers and provide managers with information on alert distribution and staff effectiveness. Our solution has been tested by 5 hospitals and 20 managers. The final version is on the way. Partnerships have been launched to accelerate our market entry. We are looking for financial and non-financial support to complete the development of our solution and tackle the CMAC region. Thank you for listening.
My name is Femi Taiwo. I'm a co-founder and CEO of TerraWork. Regardless of budget or location, imagine a world where there's a perfect talent for every business to thrive and create economic opportunities. Imagine every talented individual is optimally engaged, working and earning decent income, no location barrier. That's the world we are creating at TerraWork. We are simplifying digital freelancing with a trusted self-service marketplace that serves both freelance workers and businesses. We have developed an easy-to-navigate web app as well as Android and iOS app. Companies can hire from an extensive pool of best-in-class vetted talents only when needs arise and save up to 45% on hiring costs. Our process is faster, solutions targeted to Africa to enable companies to onboard the team they need quickly. We believe Africa can be a digital service hub where billions of dollars opportunities are with our talents, and we're driving this. Thank you.
Now that you've heard from all 12 of our shortlist candidates, it's your turn to get involved. The vote is now open for you to choose the pitch that resonates with you the most. Again, you'll be able to see the 12 names of the shortlist in the polls and voting tab below. Remember, the shortlisted candidate with the greatest number of votes will receive an award of £5,000. And thank you to everyone on that shortlist. Now on to this next section where I'm delighted to be joined by the winner of the Africa Prize 2021, Noel Ngeson, who won £25,000 with his innovation CubeCo, a set of low-cost bio-waste processing equipment. Noel, welcome back to the Africa Prize final. How does it feel to be back?
Hi, Shini. I did not expect to be back again so soon, maybe as a judge, but so I'm really happy to be back so soon. Yeah.
What do you remember from that initial period after winning the prize? What was it like?
No, I was in the clouds. It was amazing because the cohort itself, since we had a whole year before the actual prize ceremony, we had maybe half a year, but it was quite a long period with the other companies. So it was tough competition. So I was very surprised to have won because of the competition was so good. So it was a very happy feeling.
And what impact has winning the prize had on your innovation and business?
I can maybe say it simply in 3 types of impacts, because the prize is very credible, let's say, so that gave us also credibility in our innovation, so that was direct. And then there was intense media attention in the beginning, so that gave us exposure, which builds on itself. So we had a lot of exposure, which led to orders, like actual sales and partnership building. And then the cash prize itself, which was useful for the cash flow, definitely, but also for the investments that we needed, based on the strategy that led us to join the program in the first place.
It sounds like the Africa Prize has really made a difference to your business. Would you say so?
Yes, in many ways, because from a team level, because we're a small company, we hire 4 to 5 engineers at any given time. And sometimes what keeps the engineers from going to other more, let's say, classic companies or stable companies, is the vision, So on a team level, winning the prize strengthens the visions, the belief, the cohesion that what we're doing is right, And beyond that, on a pure growth level, it acted as an accelerator, because internal issues like HR through the expert sessions that you had before the prize, and also external effects like partnerships and access to investors also, were a direct result. So a lot of impact.
So you've talked about how it's affected your business and you as a team, but how has it affected you personally to win this prize?
I'm an engineer, so it felt, special, different to win a prize from the Engineering Academy, especially in our case where we try to have large impact, but with relatively low tech engineering, we try to combine the high efficient engineering, but with very simple design. So it felt rewarding, to win this specific prize. So on a personal level, that was quite important. And then I have to say I learned a lot, I always come back to the part before the final prize. During that program, I learned a lot as an entrepreneur, which to run the company, you need kind of a full package. So that gave me a lot on a personal level as well.
So based on what you've experienced, do you have any advice for this year's cohort?
Give yourself the time, because it's well invested time. The program requires a lot of availability, which at the moment, seems a bit conflicting with other priorities. So give yourself the time, because it's a good investment. That's number one. Take the time also to think through the kind of expert sessions you request, because they will be good. So if you put in the effort to ask what you really need, then you'll get more out of it. So that's definitely important. That's it. So that would be the main 2 things, because that part is longer than the final prize. If you do get to the finals, like the companies that were here today for the finals, the winner of the grand prize, prepare prepare also for the questions, because all the companies are good, so that's where you can get an edge.
Well, very wise advice there. Thank you so much for joining us, Noel. And we're actually going to see you soon when you announce this year's winner.
Thank you very much. See you in a bit.
So now we're going to move on to a thematic discussion focused on how entrepreneurship is driving scalable and sustainable solutions to address energy poverty in sub-Saharan Africa. This topic has been chosen for a number of reasons. Firstly, at the Academy's Africa Showcase event earlier this year, reliable and affordable access to energy was repeatedly highlighted by our stakeholders as being a major obstacle to development in sub-Saharan Africa. Secondly, energy is one of the most dominant sectors in terms of innovations that have come through the Africa Prize programme, highlighting its relevance across the African continent. In addition, awareness of energy access has grown this year in the UK as the cost of living has risen, and of course, energy usage and its impact on climate change continues to be a prevalent theme across the world. I have the pleasure of being joined by a panel of experts in the energy field. Firstly, we have Richard Gomez, COO of Shell Foundation and Chair of Shell Foundation's Investment Committee. Richard leads Shell Foundation's Ecosystem Development Programme and has supported over 50 social enterprises to build consumer demand, raise investment and secure support from policymakers. He's authored several reports examining lessons learned from Shell Foundation's work, including enterprise solutions to 2030 and accelerating access to energy. Great to have you with us, Richard. We also have Yewande Abeyosa, Managing Director, Africa and Global Communities Manager at the Energy Institute. Yewande leads and initiates cross-industry discussions and amongst corporate organisations by liaising with market leaders to offer energy solutions and develop strategic plans to expand the Institute's network. She successfully launched Nigeria's first Energy Sustainability Conference, or ESC, in 2018, a conference that brings together professionals from across the entire spectrum of the energy sector. So pleased to have you with us, Yewande. And last but not least, I'm delighted to welcome David Tusubira. David is the founder and CEO of Dojo Hub, co-founder and CTO of Innovators, and in 2020 was an Africa Prize finalist with his innovation Remote, a hardware and software system that monitors and manages the performance, usage, and health of solar photovoltaic panel installations. David, thank you for joining us. Throughout this discussion, we're again keen to hear from you, so do get your questions posted. Please add them to the Ask a Question tab, and you can also click the thumbs up to upvote other audience members' questions. So, to begin the discussion, what I want to ask all of you, first off, is something to set the context. So, why is this such an important topic for all of you here on the panel?
Would you like me to start, Ginny?
Yeah, Richard, why not?
So,
Kick us off.
For me, energy is the bedrock of social mobility. So Shell Foundation is a UK charity. We serve people who are living on $10 a day in Africa and Asia. And we deploy about $40 million a year, building out enterprises who can transform the lives of that community. And if you think about, that community, there's 1 billion people out there without access to affordable, reliable energy. There's 2.5 billion people who are cooking indoors on very traditional stoves and fires. Fundamentally, energy is a prerequisite for any improvement in health, education, moving up the income ladder. So we're working with entrepreneurs and engineers who are creating energy for studying, for schools, for healthcare facilities, for refrigerating vaccines, for street lighting, small business, farming. So all of the transformational potential of things like the internet, smartphones, digital finance, TVs, radios, all these things need power. So I think there's, for me, a very significant market opportunity here for very talented innovators, entrepreneurs, engineers, investors out there who are looking for a market that delivers really significant social and environmental impact.
Thank you. Now, David, we know that reliable and affordable access to energy is known to be a major obstacle to development in sub-Saharan Africa. But what does energy poverty look like in a Ugandan context?
So energy poverty is simply the lack of access to sustainable modern services. In Uganda, that's something like people using kerosene lamps and candles for lighting. That's pretty much what it looks like in Uganda. And some of the renewable energy sources we use, hydro energy, bioenergy, photovoltaic, solar, and geothermal. Although these are not really yet available to a large percentage of the population, it's only about 18%. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Yewande, help us set the context here from the Energy Institute's perspective. Why is this such an important topic?
So thank you for having me, Shinya, and thank you for that question. At the Energy Institute, our focus really
is to promote best practice within the energy sphere. So obviously from your conventional oil and gas to the most sustainable one, which is renewables. And in Africa, it's wind and solar. And for us at the Energy Institute, we want to be at the forefront of these discussions. Energy access is very important, but if we do not start to discuss the issues, the climate change issues within the region, then really we're just blindsiding ourselves. And for us at the Energy Institute, we are well positioned to help move the industry forward in all the different regions. We do this through our trainings. We train young people, we train people within oil and gas, power, renewables. And the point here is, how do you work more efficiently without jeopardizing the future generation? So at the Energy Institute, we are creating different avenues to do this. We have technical partners that are supporting us to put out the best possible standards. We're making sure that not just our members in the Western world are benefiting from these, from all these different array of products we have within the EI, but with our branches and hubs that we have all over the world, we are supporting the industry.
Thank you. So Richard, back to you. Access to energy is one of the two main focus areas for the Shell Foundation. How is Shell supporting enterprises working in this space?
Yeah, sure. So look, we've worked with probably over 200 innovators over the last 20 years. So exploring new technologies, new engineering solutions, different types of business models to provide those essential services. And we use sort of patient capital to nurture pioneers and seed new markets, predominantly grant, alongside quite extensive business support market links. So examples of really cool new technologies include, very low cost solar lighting for households, pay-as-you-go energy for lighting and cell phone charging and radios, and then that sort of evolution of these services to pay-as-you-go for things like TVs and fridges, and then income growth activities like solar irrigation and e-vehicles. On the cooking side, fuel-efficient biomass stoves, smart LPGs, so that mini grids serving hundreds of households at one time, generating power from solar and biomass like rice husk. I was out in Kenya last week with a partner that makes biomass digesters. So they take cow dung and produce biogas for cooking and also fertilizer. And that's really relevant because, over 2 billion people have more than 2 cows. So, when we work with these types of businesses, you see an incredible effect on education and income and health and environment. And we've got some really interesting examples of businesses that have scaled now. An example being, M-Copa, one of the world's largest pay-as-you-go solar businesses. We started working with them 11, 12 years ago. Their first offer was a very low-cost solar system, 3 lights, radio, cell charge. You pay a small deposit, and then you get you pay installments using mobile money, and it's a lower cost than kerosene. We work with them to test the model, to raise capital to scale, to progress from foundation and donor funding through to DFI funding, impact investment, and then commercial capital. And a whole set of basics, launching products, building distribution, creating the back office and credit team, creating the software platform to manage operations. And then gradually, as they attract capital, working with their engineers to push the boundaries of new products. So they've evolved to an asset financer of cell phones and TVs and fridges and e-vehicles, and they've now raised a 350 million plus and benefited over 10 million people. So just an example of some of these businesses that are now raising sort of significant funding, but the early stage support that they need in the very early years to innovate and test. We've got sort of 75 of these types of social enterprises in our portfolio now. Tough work, but it can succeed.
And out of all those technologies you mentioned, what do you think have been the key things that have led to their success?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we help in a few ways. The sheer determination of the entrepreneurs, promoters, management teams. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, building a new business, the first kind of a product or service. We're looking for really disruptive innovators. And they'll typically be working in rural areas where no infrastructure exists. So no access to talent, limited working capital, no value chain partners, often no enabling policy. So, we often liken it to building Google when the internet doesn't actually exist. So we're trying to take the lift off in a way and help by, providing that very patient capital, particularly grant for disruptive solutions, working over, 5, 10, 15 years as they go through cycles of innovation, test, establish the product market fit, fail and go again. And provided we're learning, we keep going. Sometimes investing $10, $50 million before we get to mass adoption. And that type of funding isn't uncommon for lots of innovation that happens in North America and Europe. Advances in renewable energy, smartphones, sat-navs, the internet, a lot of that's come from public funding and research grants. So it's sort of applying the same principles to engineering for this market. A lot of access to networks, investors, and then significant business support across the organization, from governance to finance to IT and sales and marketing. So really sort of working holistically to help them build their investment credentials.
Thank you, Richard. David, over to you. We'd love to hear more about your innovation remote and your wider entrepreneurial journey up until now with Innovex. Can you tell us more about the innovation and give us an insight into the challenges you've faced, as well as your experiences in scaling up?
Yeah, absolutely. So Remote is an Internet of Things platform that helps solar distributors scale by providing various digital tools, and this aids their operations. So Remote is still the only platform in the world that provides both performance monitoring and credit purchase features. Now, one of the biggest challenges we faced is attracting skilled talent. This is mostly because of the stiff competition from the international market. It's very difficult to hire software developers in Uganda when they're being offered $5,000 a month by people in the US or UK. So that has been one of our toughest challenges. Our product serves a niche market, which happens to be quite small in Uganda. We have therefore had to spread our horizons and target more countries in Sub-Saharan Africa. And currently we have sales teams in Kenya and Nigeria, on top of just Uganda. Of course, that comes with large expenses in operations, which is also another challenge. But on the other side, we've been quite successful in raising capital. Last year, we managed to raise a pre-seed round of 150,000 euros. And this year, we expect to raise a seed round between $500,000 and $1,000. So yeah, that's a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey so far.
Thank you. And Yewande, as part of your role at the Energy Institute, you've launched an energy sustainability conference in Nigeria. Can you tell us more about this conference?
Yes, so I always like to start from the beginning. So the Energy Sustainability Conference was actually birthed after the Energy Institute, and one of our local partners ran a program called the Graduate Engineering Scheme. Coincidentally, that partner is actually on the call, Lonadec, and it was sponsored by the Royal Academy of Engineering, coincidentally too. And one of the most glaring takeaways we got from that was that there's a huge renewable energy knowledge and skills gap. And it wasn't just a gap with graduates and industry, there was a huge gap with industry and academia, policymakers, government. It was literally a gap that needed someone to go in there and just help to create solutions. And really, this is exactly what the EI does, bringing all these different parties together, getting them together in one room and helping to solve the many problems we have in energy, as we've all been talking about. And the Energy Institute, our role as a professional organization is to disseminate knowledge from, as I said before, from oil and gas, also to other areas. And we realized that the best way to solve this gap problem and the dilemma of energy access and challenges with climate change is to inspire people to come together within this platform we called the Energy Sustainability Conference. Now, over the years, it's evolved to become so many other things. We've put into consideration diversity and inclusion. We run a Women in Energy breakfast every year. We run a mentorship program where young people are paired with people that come to the conference, veterans in the industry, people that have more experience. And from doing that, we've built this network of young people and older people communicating and sort of bridging that gap where, you know, they're able to communicate better. Another thing that has come out of the ESC is the fact that we are now making sure that a lot of companies that are coming out of Africa, explaining that they're coming out of oil and gas and want to be more of an energy company, they're asking the Energy Institute, what does that mean? Do we sack our existing staff? And we're trying to tell them, no, it's the same skills gap. We just probably need to come and speak to you about what kind of courses they need to run. We need to support you to create bespoke courses. We need to explain what you need to do as an organization to change your model and change your behavior so that you come to a cleaner and more sustainable side of the world. So the ESC this year has been set for the 8th and the 10th of November. So we're very excited about it. Everybody on this platform is definitely invited to join us. Yes, so that's what the Energy Sustainability Conference is all about. It's in Lagos, Nigeria.
It sounds like it was a really powerful conference, pun intended. Do you see it as something that should be replicated regionally or even at a larger scale?
So it's interesting because for me, I think when we say collaboration, for some reason, a lot of African countries and African stakeholders, we always think collaboration outside of Africa. And there lies the problem itself. We have our neighboring counterparts. We have people that have amazing wealth of knowledge to share, amazing skills, amazing experience that we actually need to tap from. We might not need to go so far. So we need to collaborate some more. And if we do not create avenues to collaborate, if we don't create avenues to showcase who these competent companies are, competent individuals are, then we're literally just not ready. So in my opinion, institutes like the Energy Institute need to come to the forefront of explaining what competence is needed for companies, energy companies in Africa to actually be seen. Because as was mentioned earlier by Richard, he had explained this fantastic project with MOPA that's going on. But the question is, are we really throwing these information out to the Western world? Are people seeing these interesting projects going on? And are we also creating an enabling environment that investment can come in from outside of Africa into these regions? So yes, I do believe that there's this space for us to bring in even more people, but most importantly, let's bring in the people closer to us.
Now, we've probably only got about a minute left, so I need kind of short answers from you. Richard first, what other supporting systems or enabling factors can support innovations to be both scalable and sustainable?
Yeah, so I think the key is we need a significant uptick in the capital invested, right? So $2 billion has gone into the market today in these types of solutions. Our research suggests you need to multiply that by about 100 times to meet the needs of Africa. And the good news is that there are some of the asset owners like Nuveen Capital, PIMCO, BlackRock, who are quite keen to support that transition and support that. So there's funding available, but they can't quite deploy. So I think we need to build a pipeline of investable businesses, you know, a step change in tech innovation and venture building. We need that ecosystem where you have a set of specialist intermediaries, distributors, big data and software applications, battery storage, etc. And the non-profit institutions that are needed as markets grow, like the Energy Institute. And then thirdly, I think funders like ourselves, foundations, donors, impact investors need to blend finance alongside commercial finance. And then we can pool resources to try and mobilize a larger part of that funding.
Thank you so much, Richard, and thank you to all of you on the panel. Yewande, David, it's been so insightful. Great to hear your perspectives. And that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And now for the announcement of the One to Watch winner. Voted by you, the audience. The results are in. It's really that. This is really authentic here. We've been counting your votes, and I'm happy to say that the One to Watch winner is Femi Taiwo from Nigeria. Congratulations to you, Femi. And don't forget, you can find out more about our One to Watch winner and the rest of our shortlist on our interactive showcase. And you should see a tab at the bottom of your screen called Interactive Showcase, and that's how you can access all the content there. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the announcement of the Africa Prize winner. And who better to do this than last year's winner? Noel, it's over to you.
So, after a lot of waiting and debating, the judges had a tough time, and the winner of the Africa Prize 2022 is Nora Magero with Vaxibox in Kenya. So congratulations, Nora. I would just like to ask, how do you feel?
Well, I'm excited and also happy and just so honored to actually made it this far. It's been such a long process, and there's so much learning and pivoting that has happened. And I've grown immensely so many times, and also just met like a really great cohort, really brilliant engineers and just non-engineers and just entrepreneurs across the African globe that are doing amazing things that are so commendable. And it's such an honor to even share a platform with them. So thank you so much.
Congratulations again, Nora. Honestly, what we've been through with the pandemic, your technology really resonates with all of us, I'm sure. Well done.
Thank you.
Before we end the afternoon, I'd like us to thank all of our finalists and shortlist members who have done such an excellent job, our Africa Prize judges who have committed so much time and enthusiasm to this process, and our speakers who have taken the time to share their knowledge and experiences with us. Once the event is over, we encourage you to explore the interactive showcase to contact the entrepreneurs. It's a great way to make connections with the finalists and the shortlist. You can see more videos and photos of their innovations and businesses, as well as their individual pitches and pitch decks. The interactive showcase is open for the next year, and each profile can be downloaded as a PDF. On the Welcome tab, you can also find out more information about applying for the Africa Prize so that next year it could be you pitching in front of our judges. And in closing, we're delighted to welcome one of our long-established Africa Prize judges, Dr. Ibilola Amau. Ibilola is the principal consultant of Luana Deck Global Services, a woman-owned ISO 9001 certified engineering technology and innovation solutions firm of consultants, focusing on STEM and innovation in energy, power, infrastructure, oil, gas, and agriculture. Ibilola's passion is to empower, mentor, and coach women and youth for positive transformation. She's been an Africa Prize judge for a number of years now, and we're delighted to have her close the event for today. Thank you, Ibilola.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for the opportunity to deliver the closing remarks at the final ceremony of the Africa Prize for Engineering Innovation 2022. It is a pleasure to do so for many reasons. I am an engineer who is committed to STEM and innovation. I'm also both British and African. It is always a privilege to bring diversity to bear in engineering, technology, and innovation. I have been involved with the Africa Prize since I joined as a mentor who supported a young innovator in his journey of becoming a runner-up at the finals in Kenya in 2017. Since I became a judge in 2018, I have enjoyed reviewing the most outstanding pitches, and I've had the honor of contributing to the shortlisting process with the support of other judges and wisdom, guidance, and counsel of our able chairperson, Malcolm Brinded. The process of shortlisting the top 16 involves a lot of push and pull. Shortlisting the semi-finalists and finalists is usually a very tough call, as we must bring to bear our diverse expertise and holistic perspectives. Over the past 4 years, the panel of judges have worked very hard to identify and celebrate engineering innovation, as well as STEM and tech solutions, which meet the highest standards of the Royal Academy of Engineering. I am pleased to be a part of seeing engineering submissions that address sustainable development goals, provide jobs and wealth, while addressing societal problems. The contributions of our shortlisted candidates to environment, social, and governance solutions is most commendable. The Africa Prize submissions are a diversity of solutions from civil, structural, mechanical, process, chemical, electrical, electronics, instrumentation, computer engineering, as well as information technology, which has broadened the impact of the winners. On a personal level, the joy of seeing a person or team submit an application for the prize, become a shortlisted candidate, go through the 12-week entrepreneurship training, enjoy mentoring support, then becoming more impactful in their community is most fulfilling for me. As a female engineer in energy and entrepreneurship, I'm joyful and elated to see gender diversity in the Africa Prize finals move up from 0% to 50% over the last 5 years. Benefits beyond the event include our past shortlisted candidates and winners supporting each other in their developmental journey. The Africa Prize alumni community is a phenomenal space where great things are happening. If you have been inspired to apply for the Africa Prize after today, you can apply now for the Africa Prize for Engineering Innovation 2023 via the Academy website. Applications are open until July 19th. Congratulations to all the participants. To our finalists, runner-ups, and winners, I say best wishes as I wish you all great success going forward.